So there you are, feeling discouraged, feeling unappreciated, looking at your partner as ungrateful because as far as you're concerned, you have done so much for them and they still just don't appreciate it. As far as you're concerned, you have gone out of your way to love them the way you know best, and then they just don't appreciate. You have done things for them. You have done things that you're supposed to do as a woman. You have done things that you're supposed to do as a man. Every trick in the book as far as romance and loving this person goes, you have done those things, but this person just somehow seems ungrateful. They don't feel swayed, they don't feel moved, they just look at things like they are normal things. They actually kind of give you the feeling of saying, you know what, whatever you're doing, you're supposed to do, so don't expect me to appreciate it more. What do you think causes that? What do you think makes people seem ungrateful when you have done everything that you have done in order to show that you love them? The reason why people do that is because most of the time when we want to love people, we want to love them according to the way we know how to love. We want to love people according to our experience of love, our understanding of love, what we've read in the books, what we've watched wherever, what we have seen wherever. We want to love people according to the way we've watched in the movies, the way that people have loved others, and that's the kind of experience that we have. You understand that as we are growing up, as people are growing up, from the time they're a child, they are watching love everywhere. They're watching love actions, they're watching love acts, they're watching people love people this way, they're watching people love this way in movies, they're reading these books. In our time, we had books called Mills and Boone. Those were love stories that we used to read a lot. We had all these kind of books that we were reading. And if you're not careful, you're going to interpret love according to somebody who told a story from their head in their bedroom. And if you're not careful, you're going to look at love and begin to think, well, this is how I'm supposed to love my woman, this is how I'm supposed to love my man, this is how I'm supposed to handle my person. And when you begin to look at things that way and you begin to love this person and you seem like they do not appreciate you, get demoralized. It's not the mistake on their part. It's not a mistake that they don't seem grateful or they don't seem like they appreciate what you're doing. No, the problem that is there is that you are loving them according to the way that you know how to love. In a relationship, you need to learn to love the person that you're with according to the way that they need to be loved, and not according to the way that you think you need to love them. The mistake that most people make is they want to love people according to the way that they think they love them. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to walk in that room and I'm going to carry this bouquet of flowers and I'm going to do this for her. I'm going to take ice cream and whatever. Oh, I'm just going to surprise her. She's just going to come in and find this. Oh, he's just going to come from work and he's going to find a bed of roses and all these things and whatever. And you're doing all those things because that's how you know how to love. But is that what your partner wants? So they're not being ungrateful, and most of the time you're going to look at it and tell yourself, no, he's being ungrateful. Look at what I do for him. She's being ungrateful. Look at the things that I have sacrificed for her. Look at the things that no. They're not being ungrateful. The question you must ask yourself is, am I loving them the way they want to be loved, or am I loving them the way I feel I need to love them? This is where learning your partner comes in. It's important to know the person that you're with. It's important to know the person that you're loving. It's important to know who you're dealing with, because not every girl is going to be the same. Not every man is going to be the same. If you're going to handle a woman or you're going to handle a man in the perception of the people that you have been with or the people that you have experienced, you're making a mistake. This is a different person that you're dealing with. This is a stranger. You don't know them. This is a person that's coming from a very different background compared to the people that you have been with. So you can't come and look at them and want to love them the way that you loved others. You can't come and look at them and in fact, the way that you probably loved others even failed. That's the reason why you ended up with this person anyway. So you can't use the same formula to love the same person, the formula that actually failed. And this is why Albert Einstein said that trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is what? It's insanity. And that's exactly what happens. So when you come to a relationship, Clear your mind of your past. Clear your mind of your past relationships. Clear your mind of your past women. Clear your mind of your past men. Because if you don't do this, you are going to continuously compare people and end up mistreating an innocent person because you're always looking at them in the light of the people that you've been with. If you choose a person and say, this is the person that I want to be with, begin to learn that person. What do they like? What kind of person are they? What kind of things trigger them? What kind of things make them excited? What kind of things make them happy? Some people are very simple. The only thing they need is a drive. And others are very simple. The only thing they need is buy them a car. So it depends on whatever works with the person that you're with, and you begin to work towards that. So don't come and compare people and begin to tell yourself, well, this is how I know how to love, so you must accept the way I'm loving you. No, learn to love the person differently. And that's the reason why when you are in love with somebody, love changes you. Love changes you because it begins to teach you how to love the other person according to the way that they need to be loved. So in order for you to love them according to where that they need to be loved, you need to change your perspective about love. You need to change the way you believed love was supposed to be. And slowly you begin to look at love differently. From whose perspective? From the perspective of the person that you're with, and not your perspective. If all of us looked at each other and tried to learn each other in order for us to love the other person better, there would be very few breakups, there would be very few divorces, there would be very few people that would be living our lives that way. Why? Because the other person is more interested in the other person than they are in themselves. The problem that is there is that you get into this relationship and you're telling yourself, I have come in this relationship, this person has a responsibility to make me happy. This person, the reason I'm in this relationship is so this person can make me happy. And so when they don't make you happy, you are discouraged because you're telling yourself, wow, they're not doing their job. How about if you entered a relationship with the mandate of telling yourself, I am entering this relationship with the responsibility of making this woman happy. My sole responsibility of entering this relationship is so that this man is happy and will go around telling people they are happy they married me. Every now and then, if the only thing that you're focusing on is what the other person can do for you instead of what you can do for them, you're missing out. And every time you're doing that, you will never experience love because the only thing you expect is to receive. And if the only thing you expect from love is to receive, you're not experiencing love. You are having a relationship transaction. And most of relationships today are just transactions. Give me this and I will give you this. Lay with me and I will give you the money. Do this, and that is exactly what it is. Relationships nowadays, they are just transactions. And that's the reason why when you find something real, when you find a relationship that is real, where the person is interested in you and not necessarily what that they can get from you, or not necessarily what you can give them, if you find that kind of a relationship, hold on to it. Because we're living in a time and era where people look at the other person, one, as a gold mine, or look at the other person as just an object of obsession. So they look at this person as somebody where their feelings have to be offloaded to, and they have to relieve themselves by being with this woman, and they have to upgrade their life by being with this man. And that's the reason why when these two things are missing, when the idea of bonding together is missing, and the idea of distribution of money is missing in a relationship, people begin to lose respect. Why? Because the thing that they wanted them for, they cannot find in that relationship. But I digress. I was trying to tell you that the most important thing in a relationship is to learn the person that you're with so that you can love them well, so that you can understand how to love them. If your focus is on the other person that you're with, it's very easy for a relationship to work. It's very easy for you to understand the things that you're experiencing in your relationship. It's very easy for you to understand their discrepancies. It's very easy for you to understand their mistakes. It's very easy for you to understand their weaknesses and failures. Why? Because your ultimate goal is to learn this person. And when you're learning something, you're going to find there are certain areas that are not supposed to be there. You're going to find there are certain mistakes that are not supposed to be there. But because you're trying to learn this person, everything you're trying to learn, you're trying to understand. And understanding takes time. So the most important thing is focus on learning the other person that you're with, so that tomorrow you don't stand up and complain about they're not doing this for me, they're not doing this for me, they're not being this to me. Because some people don't want flowers, they just want chocolate.